What's going on, everybody? This is Boris at your College of Design Studio. Today we're doing a quick tutorial on muzzle flashes and special effects using Adobe After Effects. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a clip. I've got a clip from one of our projects we recently completed, Dingleberry Ride Along. And we're going to take that clip and we're going to add some special effects like that right there. Some lighting improvements, a muzzle flash, and some sound effects for this clip, and I'm going to reproduce everything from scratch. So all these layers here, take a look, and they're gone. Okay, so I have my clips and all the information that I'll be using up here imported. If you have a clip, go ahead and import it into the Adobe After Effects project you're working on. And I'm going to take the footage, okay, and I'm going to find the approximate location of where the shot occurs. So right about here. Okay, so right about there we need to add some special effects, and I've got an image of a muzzle flash, just something quickly thrown together using Photoshop. We're going to drag this not on the bottom but on top. See that black line, how it shifts? Right on top of our footage, and bam, black background and some yellow paint, just some white, yellow, white color in there. And towards the bottom right here, if you don't have it set on there, go ahead and toggle your switches until you get to mode. It says normal. Click on that and select screen. This is a screen. Now it blends in with the background of your video. The black is gone, and you have just the yellow muzzle flash thing. Place it right on top and adjust the size. So right about there is okay. It still looks pretty horrible though, because this is what it looks like, and it's right on our image. So right about there is where the gun is fired. We need to make sure that it occurs just there. So this purple line right here is where it's the image that we have on top. We need to size it up so that it's right on the line and just a little after, so right about there. The thing about After Effects is it's not very user-friendly, so if you're worried about not hearing the sound of your footage, don't worry about it. You're not really going to hear the sound because After Effects has to render everything. If you do want to get sound on your number pad, press the period where it says period and then underneath it says delete, and then you'll get a little bit, you'll get the sound played. I don't think it's going to show for you guys since I'm using my microphone as input, so you won't be able to hear it, but if you press the period, you'll hear the sound in your video. What you can also do is click and hold Control and the current time indicator, click and drag and scrub across the footage, and you'll hear the sound. It's going to be choppy, but if you're looking to see if you place the sound file at the appropriate location, which is something we're going to need to worry about here in a second, then it's very handy. So we have it right here like this, and I'm going to do a quick glow effect, and where it says effects and presets, just type in glow, stylize glow, click and hold that and drag it right on top of the muzzle flash .jpg or whatever image you're using for a muzzle flash. There's some presets online you can find. Okay, and now here it shows us the effect controls for our muzzle flash image. I'm going to increase the glow radius from 10 to whatever looks good to about there, and I'm going to decrease the glow threshold like that. Make it look like it's burning white hot. The temperature of the exhaust of the bullet going out of the muzzle. Decrease it to about 0. I like it about there, so I'll leave it at 0. Okay. And now it's a little better. So we have our clip, and bam, really quickly. If you press space, it will play through it without playing the sound. Right there. It looks okay, but we're in a confined area, indoors, so it's not really realistic that you're gonna see such a big muzzle flash and then nothing else will be affected. It's not very realistic. So right about here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a mask. We're going to create layer, new, solid, and I already have it preset in this nice light yellowish color that matches the muzzle flash somewhat. I'm gonna click OK, and bam, it covers the image. Where did our footage go? Not to worry. Where it says medium yellow solid 2, the mode, change the mode to add. Okay, and now you see your video footage seep through beneath. What we want to do is we want to click the down arrow here next to the square. Transform, click down arrow again, and opacity is at 100%. We want to set it down to about 20% or so. 20, I want to set it to about 23. 23 looks good. Okay. You can do a lot of things with this. You can do several masks. You can mask the face and then do a subtractive mask underneath the chin and underneath the arm and underneath the window here to get more contrast. For example, if you don't want the light to disperse everywhere throughout the room, if you want some areas to be darker, like I said, the light will just intensify the areas that are already receiving light, and areas that are in shadow will appear darker. So you can do that. We're doing a quick and easy effect right here indoors. So we're going to say that everything gets flashed, and we're here at the perspective of the person getting impacted. So we're going to decrease, we're going to change our mask again to start right at this red line, which is lined up with the muzzle flash. We're going to change that and drag that to about here. I want it to be a little longer, because here's what we're going to do. Right now this is what it looks like. We're going to drag it a little bit in front, there, and compress it behind. Okay, right there. And we're going to squeeze the footage. We're going to zoom in on our frames right here. Okay. So right there, we want to start our clock for the mask. We're going to click on this little time vary stopwatch. It says toggle ability of property to change over time. We're going to click on that, and it's going to set a little yellow diamond. It's not going to be 23% here. We're going to set it down to about 6 or 9. 9 is fine. Then we'll move our current time indicator to the middle, right here. Here is where we want it to be, to about 23. 23. And the next frame over right here. Okay, right here. Okay, 9, 23. Here's where it dies out to 7. Okay. So close all this, click away. Let's see what we got. Right there. So the flash. You can do a lot of cool stuff if you have presets like smoke effects and things like that. But right about here, we have it set at 9%. So we see the initial flash before we see the muzzle flash. I do it like that because it's more realistic instead of just having a really bright flash. You get a gradual thing. It's an illusion, optical illusion for the eye. So it starts off here, it's at maximum here, and it's down to about 7% here. The flash is dying off. Keep in mind this is in less than 1/10 of a second, so 26.1. All this is happening in less than 1/10 of a second. So bam, right there. That was our effect. It seems like a small thing, but honestly, if you watch a movie and there's no flashes or anything like that, it's not as interesting. So special effects do a lot, especially if you're doing a lot of special effects, heavy things. Um, so let's go back here and add our sound effect. Close this, and we have a preset sound effect. We used FL Studio 10 to create this. You can use Audacity. It's a free digital audio workstation. There's some limited functionality there, but like I said, it will work perfectly fine for this. Just mess around with the frequency until you get something that sounds pretty decent. I'm going to add this as the last layer, single gunshot effect, MP3. I recommend working with WAV files um, in After Effects, but MP3 for this purpose works as well. And we're placing it right here, right where the shot occurs. If you press the period, you hear that it's mismatched. The click of the gun of the little toy pistol that we have is not matching the click of or the sound of the MP3 file. So let's see what's going on. Got it almost close. Almost. Okay, perfect. And that's a lesson that we learned the hard way. We put out the finalized footage. There's a little bit of mismatching. It's very hard to notice, but it's still there. And if you're working with just that frame, it kind of irks you after a little bit. We strive for perfection. Try to get it right as much as we can. Right here, it's matched perfectly, and you probably can't hear it on your screen. I can hear it in my headphones. So this is matched pretty well. And another thing, if you're in a confined area and you fire off a weapon, it's going to be pretty loud. So you can add gain to this. That way it sounds a little louder. You can do a lot of interesting things with it, but that's really it. To render it or to export it as a video, it's pretty easy. You go to Composition and Add to Render Queue. Click on that. Down here, as you can see, I've already done it a few times, but down here, and you'd be like, okay, what is this? I've never seen this. If you work with Premiere Pro or any other program, it doesn't really do this. Again, After Effects has to render everything. To get it right and to get it to not be a 5. If I were to export this now, it would be about 10 gigabyte file, which is huge. We don't want that. We want to have a normal file. So what we do is you can change the name right here. Click on Final. You can change what it's saved as. I'm going to keep it as Final Shot 2. Click here where it says lossless. Click on that. And format. You don't want AVI. You want H.246, Windows Media, or one of the other ones that you like working with. I use H.246. And then where it says format options here to the right of RGB, red, green, blue, click on that. Set it to maximum target bitrate, the target bitrate to maximum, and the maximum bitrate to 300. Both of those. Profile high, level 5.1, click OK. And then down here where it says audio output, by default it's not clicked, and you want to export the audio if you're doing a sound effect and you don't already have the sound effects within the video clip that you're using. So click that. I recommend 48 kilohertz and stereo. And then click OK. Now you're set, and it's still not rendering. What you need to do is you need to click on render. And then it goes through and it literally renders it second by second. It might take a little bit. This is a short clip, so it shouldn't take that long. But yes, at the end of this, I'll show you the clip of what it actually looks and sounds like once you add in some of the effects. That's just a quick way you can use After Effects to add some flair to your videos that you're making or working on your projects. That brings us.
Wait, what are you doing?
That's right.
That brings us to the end of today's tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on an Arcology Designs production.